Listen, I know you want to protect me.
You know, the thing that I noticed about this friend of Lauren's, first thing that I noticed that has to be pointed out is that she went completely crazy at Andre last episode, okay? And the whole time she's got kids in the house. Imagine being a child and you're hearing your mum shouting and screaming and using such horrible words to another human being. Just imagine what type of influence this mother is to her children. That's what I really wanted to point out, to be honest, regarding the situation, because honestly, I was like, whoa, why has this woman got kids? Not as in like why, but like, wait, hold on a minute, she's got kids? And she was just literally calling Andre names and everything? Regardless whether he was wrong or not, that is not good role modeling to your kids. I worry for her children, to be honest, because this is absolute appalling behavior. But with that being said, let's get into the nitty and gritty of Lauren and Alex having too much of an involvement when it comes to Andre and Libby's relationship.
I understand degrading. He does not even let any.
I just caught that as well. I didn't catch it the first time. Lauren even slurs in front of the kids, effing degrading in front of the kids. Wow. I mean, listen. I know that at some point kids are going to end up using slur words anyway, blah, 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 blah. But how we influence them still matters. What we role model for them still matters, because it allows them to know when or when not to use words, or also for them to decide whether or not they like using slurs or not. Because the reality is that it's still important that we teach them that if you say this word is going to offend some people. If you say this word is going to be okay. Kids still need to understand the power of words. Okay, I know people like to, talk about sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Yeah, yada 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 yada. The matter of the fact is, the older that we get, the more trauma we go through, we all start to get more triggers, okay, based on what people say to us. And it's important that children are taught that from a young age, not necessarily about trauma per se or the triggers, but just how harmful what you say to someone could make that person feel, especially if they're in a school and they have friends and all of a sudden they start saying to that kid, hey you, F you. Hey, your mum. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not cool, Just imagine that the kids literally just heard their mum say that you should go back, that you don't deserve what's called a green card, or you should go to Moldova, whatever. Next thing you know, this kid's in school now, sees another child who they think may be foreign and goes, you don't deserve a green card. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Because that's the type of language that she was using as well. I don't know why I'm actually surprised, to be honest with you, because Lauren is a piece of and of course her friend's going to be the same. Nonetheless, though, let's get into the nitty and gritty, folks. Just wanted to get that out of the way.
Anybody in that table country come into our home and start talking to us like that, or anybody like that.
Listen, I understand that when people come to each other's home, they should be respectful of somebody's home. But even when somebody comes to your home, the person that is hosting should be respectful to their guests. Lauren's sitting there acting as if like she didn't start a whole situation with Andre out of nothing. Humble yourself.
But also, I don't know how Elizabeth can just put up with his behavior. I mean, my one is for tonight to ruin my friendship with Elizabeth, but she needs to learn to put her foot down with Andre.
Who says that Libby doesn't know how to put her foot down? I mean, listen, at the end of the day, their marriage has been going on for a couple of years now, clearly successful. They've got kids, they've got successful business going on. Clearly, she's more than happy, more and able to handle herself in this relationship. If she wasn't, I'm pretty sure the relationship would have ended some time ago. I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. Sometimes things do happen behind closed doors with people, things that we don't know that's happening, and then it comes out later on that this happened, and then we're like, whoa, I can't believe this happened. Why didn't you tell me? Blah, 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 blah. Yes, of course, those things happen, okay? But that's not every situation. Do I believe that Libby doesn't necessarily have a voice when it comes to her relationship with Andre? No, I don't believe that. I do believe that she has a voice. I just think that she's very wise about when she speaks up and when she doesn't speak up. It's just that she's somebody who probably is quite tactical with how she's going to address things with him, because she knows how to handle her man. Rowan obviously doesn't know how to handle somebody else's man. You see what I'm saying? That's what she needs to think about. Honestly, to sit there and say that she needs to get a backbone or whatever, when you don't actually know the real dynamics of their relationship, is ludicrous behavior. Absolutely ludicrous behavior. You know what I'm saying? If she had evidence, if she had said that, listen, you know what, Libby's come to me over the last couple of months and she's always talking about Andre's doing this, he's doing that, and, it's making her feel this and that, fair enough. You got leverage. You got information that says to you, do you know what? Girl, you need to get the backbone. I need you to be stronger, okay? But if you haven't seen that, okay, oh no, but if he hasn't reported none of those things, okay, not everybody's seen it, whatever, then what the hell are you talking about? You know, there was a time before I used to look at Alex and be like, why is he with this woman? But to be honest with you, these two are literally the same person. Alex and Lauren are literally two peas in a freaking pod.
Come on.
I feel like he's making her move. He decided already that's the best move.
That's not.
But he was acting all mighty. I'm gonna make my family move. I'm gonna.
I feel like well, where's the evidence? I mean, yes, fair enough. What Andre said was not right. He said that, yeah, I'm going to give an ultimatum. 1000%. That was moving mad. Him saying that was not needed in any shape or form. But if that was the case of their relationship, let's be real, their relationship would have been down a long time ago. Let's be real. And the way I'm looking at it, Andre just likes to be dramatic for the cameras. He likes to show that alpha male type stuff, you know. But without the cameras, he's probably a big puppy, to be honest with you.
Do this and that and so for it. And
He talks the talk, but is he going to walk the walk?
let's see.
The most disappointing.
Talks the talk, but you know what though? But what's it got to do with these two though? That's what I know. What's it got to do with you two? You know what's funny though? Alex is there complaining about, oh, you know, Andre clearly says certain things to get his own way, blah, blah, blah. But the last time we saw this couple, this is the same guy that was complaining about the fact that his wife wouldn't listen to him at surgery. Same guy who was complaining about when his wife had surgery, he then had to step up and to be a father full time, you know, well, more than he usually is, because usually she does it and he goes to work. So you see what I'm saying? Like come on. Obviously, sometimes in relationships, you're going to have times when you're going to listen to each other and sometimes you're going to disagree. It's going to happen, right? You're still going to go about and do your business. At the end of the day, this guy here is talking a bunch of waffle as if, you know, he doesn't... the both of them are talking waffle as if they don't they both don't encounter the same type of or similar type of conflict sometimes in relationship when it comes to conversations.
Pointing part of tonight for me was how Lauren handled the situation. Advice about us moving to Moldova. And although she did have some valid points, I just feel like it kind of came across as her, like, just criticizing us.
That's exactly how it was. Being very critical. Nothing Lauren said was informative. Nothing she said was in a way that was trying to be helpful or trying to be nice. It was all out of malicious intent. That's literally the vibe that she gave. It's as if she had this personal agenda against Andre from the get-go, with no explanation. It's like watching a movie and not understanding why the villain is the villain.
Elizabeth and I have been good friends for 4 years, and I don't want to overstep, but I don't think Andre is considering Elizabeth's thoughts when it comes.
I don't want to overstep, but I don't think... Listen, hold on a minute. You don't want to overstep, but you're overstepping. I don't think you're considering Elizabeth's thoughts or consideration in this situation, because how do you know that she wanted you to speak up for her? How do you not know that you may be making life harder for her? By being this way, you might have sent her home to a situation that's going to be even more challenging. Obviously, that wasn't the case. So, Lauren just likes to argue people. That's it. This doesn't care about people.
To this move. Elizabeth and Andre leave for Moldova in a couple of weeks, and I know as soon as they get there, Andre is going to do whatever it takes to convince Elizabeth to move there. So talk some sense into her and fast.
But how does this affect her life? I'm just curious. How does this affect her life? It doesn't affect her in any shape or form. If they go to Moldova and he decides to convince her, then so be it. But you know the funny thing is though, that was quite interesting about this storyline, and I know this storyline's a bunch of BS, because you see, Livy has been to Moldova before. She knows what Moldova looks like. She knows what it's like. She knows what his family's like, okay? So she doesn't actually have to go there to be convinced that she wants to be there. Do you see what I'm saying? They've already been there. So if she's already made the choice of wanting to go there with him or to at least give it a try, well, then they're going to go and give it a try, okay? And to be fair with you, at the same time, there's nothing wrong with them actually going to Moldova and then giving it a try for a set amount of time. What's wrong with that, you know? Because at the end of the day, they are secure in terms of the fact that if things don't work out in Moldova, they can always move back to the States because they're always going to have homes there ready for them anyway. Chuck's always going to be ready there to help them set up as well. You know what I mean? And also, Andre's business is still going to be in America anyway, regardless. It's just that he'd be working from Moldova. So even if things don't work out, they can still jump ship. Do you see what I'm saying? Lauren is just full of it. But nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I just can't believe I'm speaking in a way that's more in Andre's favor than Lauren's. But Lauren's a freaking troll. full. Yeah, anyway, I'm out. Thank you so much for your time.
That there's nobody in Bulgaria that looks like you. What? I get it. We've been to small towns before. This love basically saying that people would probably think that I look like a how.
Ooh, boy, sorry. People probably think that I look like a hoe.
Like a studio, like George in Bulgaria is like a priest.
I feel like
It's like
Two-Face. I feel like I'm like, don't come on me and say I'm gonna, look like someone I'm not. I'm gonna.
You know, the thing that I found quite disappointed about that scene is Florin, because Florin is a European man, okay? He comes from Albania. Now, of course, obviously, Albania and Bulgaria is not the same thing necessarily. Obviously, they follow different cultures, the different standards, the whole shebang, okay? But has been a man of Europe, he'd understand another European man. So he'd also understand that in some European cultures, they are still quite conservative, okay? They still live in a way where, women are required or, must be dressed in a certain way or whatever due to, if you want the family to respect them. Now, of course, you can go to Bulgaria and I'm pretty sure you will find some women who do dress like Darcy. Hell, listen, I've seen some Bulgarian women in the UK, not necessarily dressed like Darcy, but, but dressed to a certain level that is quite similar with showing skin and showing a little bit of cleavage in their legs and the whole shebang, whether that's them going out on a night out or going to the beach or guess maybe it's just a hot day and that's just how they want to dress. So it is a thing where obviously you see it maybe here in the UK, maybe there in America, but of course in Bulgaria, on the other hand, obviously I've never been there, so I don't know if that's the case for sure, but end of the day, the moral of the situation is that Georgie comes from a family where they expect a woman to be dressed in a certain way. Okay, now, should have Georgie have addressed this information to Darcy maybe way back when they first met? Probably yes. But should Darcy be open to the idea and just be like, okay, cool, I'm meeting this family for the first time. Obviously, I don't really change who I am as a person, but maybe I can just dumb down what I'm wearing. So at least when they're talking to me, they can take me seriously and show that I respect their culture and I come here obviously with good peace. And I want to show them that I'm here because I love their son and obviously blah, 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 blah. So to be honest with you, this whole thing about her, just dressing down, I don't know why she's making it such a big deal, But again, though, I was so surprised by Florin, by him not saying that, listen, just so you know, this is something that can be a thing in some, households across Europe, whether that be Bulgaria or even Albania itself in particular, to be fair with you. But no, instead, he wants to joke around and laugh about it, which definitely surprised the hell out of me personally. But nonetheless, though, let's continue.
He wants for them to approve of me and accept me, but I should feel like I can't be myself. This is not okay with me.
Listen, changing the way you dress doesn't mean you're not being yourself. You can still be yourself, obviously, with the way you speak, with the way you address things, with the way that you carry yourself, 100%. But literally dumbing down how you dress for just initially the first meet, or maybe, and let's be real, her and George have been together for years, and she's only now meeting his family. She's acting as if she's going to be around his family like all the time. Like, really and truly, it's not that deep. You're literally going to have to dress a bit more, obviously, sensible for a couple of days or however long you're going to be there for. And then once you're back in Miami or wherever the hell you go next, you can be back doing whatever you want to do. Do you see what I'm saying? That's just that. But at the same time, though, I understand it, though, okay? Some people just want to go in and they want to be fully transparent, be fully who they are with no questions asked. Without tweaking anything about them. And to be fair, I can respect that, okay? Is it fair for me to sit and say just because somebody wants to go in there dressing the way they dress, that means they're being selfish or they're being naive or they're not thinking about the other person? Not necessarily, because, for myself in particular, I generally believe that when I meet people in general, I'm always going to turn up as me. Do you see what I'm saying? Nothing else but me, because I want them to like me and appreciate me for me. If they don't like me and they don't want to appreciate me for me, then I know that I'm in the wrong bloody place, you know what I mean? And that's just what it comes down to, But of course, I don't dress like Darcy, so it's a whole different conversation in itself in particular. But then again, though, I am a different gender, and as a man, obviously, we do have a bit more freedom in how we can dress, just despite the culture or whatever. So I guess comparing it isn't exactly the same thing, is it now? But it is what it is. End of the day, if Darcy obviously wants to just be herself and she doesn't want to, change herself, but then I guess do it. And to be honest with you, I want to see it happen. I want to see the family's reaction just for my own entertainment, And to be fair with you, what would matter the most is how Georgie would then obviously handle the situation. If Darcy decided to turn up as Darcy and the family said whatever they said about her, Georgie would have an opportunity at the time to either say to his parents and his family, hey, listen, this is the woman that I decided I want to be with. This is the woman that I love. And for me, I actually have no issues with the way she dresses. So, if you can't accept it, then that's on you guys. he can always go down that route. You know what I mean? Or he can go down the route of saying, well, yeah, but my family's this, my family's that, and I just don't want to disappoint them. So really and truly, it kind of comes down to priority. Who matters more to you? Your family's reaction to your wife, or how you are completely fine with your wife, so therefore anybody else's opinion doesn't matter. So there are different layers to it. You see what I'm saying? Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't want to be a hypocrite. So I know for me personally, my priorities are gonna be my wife, because why the hell did I marry you in the first place? I ain't gonna marry you then tell you to be different. You see what I'm saying? I've obviously married you as who you've always been anyway. So yeah, I'd pick the wife side rather than the family side. You know, and plus I'm a strong believer in the fact is that the family that you create matters more than the family that you came from. Okay, because that is your lineage. That is the next step in your bloodline. Do you see what I'm saying? But I will say the way Darcy's going about the situation isn't cool.
To be with me on my 50th birthday, but he told me he's the boss. He's the director of operations. But it turns out he got a promotion, and for whatever reason, didn't tell me about it till now.
Crazy work, man. This guy got a whole promotion, didn't tell his wife. That is very interesting. Is it because he still wants to take money out of her pocket? You know, still wants to portray the life of not having as much money? I don't know, but it's definitely not cool if you're not transparent with your partner about these type of situations. And to be fair, getting a promotion is usually a celebration between you and your partner and anyone else who you want to tell. So, yeah, it is quite sad that he didn't say anything, to be honest with you. Be interesting to find out why he didn't say anything.
I don't understand why he can't talk about his job and what he does and, you know, what he makes. Like, be transparent about it. We're married. Like, I mean, I'm happy that she gets to meet Georgie's family for the first time, but I feel like it's not going to go over well. Because Darcy, she got a text message from Georgie's mom. Go with my son.
Crazy work, though. A compassionate person doesn't throw a friend out on the street before Christmas. I mean, listen, it doesn't help that George has already reported negative things towards his family anyway about Darcy. So he's already put her in a bad position regardless of how she dresses. Obviously, how she dresses can make things worse, but either way, there's still a bad taste in the family's mouth, or at least from the mother. So yeah, George has already shot her in the foot regardless.
Yeah, basically, like, you know, the little kids complain to mom.
So he must
Just take my toys, basically. What I can do, mama?
Who knows what George...
The grown-ass man is no need to go to mama to complain to mama. Just take my toys.
Exactly.
Like,
I see Flora's having a good time here. I mean, listen, like, I don't believe people should ever go back to their family to report about their spouse. I don't think that's cool business. Unless it's you reporting about the fact that you're now breaking up, fair enough, different conversation. Or you're getting married, different conversation. Or you're having a child, different conversation. But if but any little issue that you have together, come on now.
I'm crying, like, wow, wow, wow.
Yeah, I can see it through the storm. Georgie, I feel like he doesn't really show that affection, but I love him, and I don't want to think of the negative. I want to think of the positive, but I want to thought us to be.
I found this so wild though, because she sat there and literally complimented Georgie. You know, Florin's affection towards her sister Stacey, saying that, you know, why can't Georgie be like that? Why can't he grab me and just want to dance with me? Blah 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 blah. You know, I want that power couple look the way that my sister has with her husband. The maddest thing about it is we just saw a season called The Last Resort, where we literally saw Stacey complain with the fact that Florin is not affectionate enough of her. He doesn't make her feel loved enough. That's the most hilarious part about it. Woo! Sorry, that makes me laugh. Darcy's out here saying that, oh, my sister's relationship, but meanwhile, my sister's complaining about her relationship. Make that make sense? The calamity.
What was it like?
Scary, okay? It's very different. And I toned it down as much as I could before I left. Cover up.
So this is one of So this is the wife of one of George's friends that's also from Bulgaria. Okay, and she's a Latin woman, I think, and she's given Darcy's obviously trying to get information saying, okay, what was it like when you met said person?
They're going to be in your business, okay? They're going to judge you. They're going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you to your husband. Probably
That is crazy, man. That's too much for me.
want to minimize that.
It's just, I don't want to go there feeling more scared. I was like, I'm getting a little bit more nervous than before, because it seems like Georgie really wasn't exaggerating, that Bulgaria is very conservative. So
It's wild that she actually thought that she thought that he's over exaggerating, and this is why I said I'm not a fan of her reaction. The way she's gone about it has not been cool in any shape or form. You know, she could have literally responded in a whole different way, but instead of doing that, this is how she behaved, and now all of a sudden she's got an opinion from somebody else, and she's like, oh, I can't believe it's that bad. What am I gonna do? More of the story is we know she's gonna turn up and be conservative. But I really wanted to turn up looking like Darcy. Oh man, that would be TV gold. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, though, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. We'll talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course, peace.
And stuff.
What? Wait a second.
Or shortly after. Like I have to have a connection with someone to be intimate with them. You know?
I get that. When I saw you at the airport, I had an instant attraction to you.
So Gina's out here telling this woman Natalie that him and Jasmine never had any intimacy after marriage. The last time they were physical together was before marriage. Crazy work. And this guy in the same sentence says that I have to be physically attracted to somebody. If I'm Natalie, my response isn't, oh, I was attracted to you as soon as I saw you. My reaction is, so why the hell did you marry her? That would be my reaction. Like, where's the common sense here? The level of stupidity of these peoples, eh? But hey, let's get into this one.
This open marriage, it was a bad idea after all.
I haven't frozen, just wanted to do that. Anyway, more of the situation is that Jasmine really thought that an open marriage was going to be a good idea. Hell no, it's never going to be a good idea. This woman is absolutely crazy. Am I surprised that this is what she's saying? No. But do I believe that she believes what she's saying? That she's saying it from a place that matters, a place that's coming from a good place? Oh, now that one is where it gets a little bit interesting. Because for me personally, she could be saying it because she wants to now portray herself in the camera for the first time as, you know, the good person. As the person that's now taking accountability for her actions. You never know. But let's continue.
Shocked to hear that Gino is in Las Vegas seeing a woman. This is none of the things that we were in the open marriage. We needed to be introduced to the third person.
I mean, she's not lying though. In the last resort, those are the rules. And let's not forget, Gino set the rules. He set the rules. And he's already breaking his own rules. So yeah, there is a whole lot of truth behind that. But this is what makes things spicy. Because remember, at the tell-all of the last resort, Gino made it seem as if Jasmine was the one that did everything wrong. And he did nothing wrong. Well, this season's about to tell-all. And so far, Gino has not started on a good foot. Why? Well, we're about to get into that. Well, Exhibit A. Not sticking to his own rules. That's Exhibit A. There's another exhibit. Let's get into it.
Ahead of time and agreed. Who the you think he's like? He really thinks that he's single and that he can be going out. Like, I am not dating anyone. I'm not even dating Matt.
You know the maddest thing is the fact that Jasmine thought Gino would actually stick to his own rules. Oh, unless she knew Gino was gonna break his own rules, so therefore that would be her get out free card. But let's not underestimate the intelligence of Jasmine. She definitely is somebody that can play the chessboard and manipulate certain moves here, there, and everywhere. Let's not forget that.
Well, I agreed to an open marriage.
Okay, wait a second. I'm trying to figure out how I fit in this whole scenario.
And now we are at Exhibit B, where Gino has obviously been talking to this woman for a certain amount of time, and the whole time she had no idea that she was stepping into a life where this man was still married in an open marriage. Not married and separated, married and in an open marriage. Ooh, this is where Gino is definitely exposing himself because he made everything seem as if it's all Jasmine's fault. I feel like this is the season where Gino really gets exposed for his madness.
Am I part of this open relationship? Like, are you still in this open marriage with Jasmine? Many months, and he has never mentioned once about an open marriage.
It's been several months, and this man has never mentioned it. Now, if I'm this woman here, Natalie, it's a very simple situation. I'm walking away. I'm not going to say anything. I'll just be like, oh, okay, bye. Know your worth and run. But instead of knowing her worth,
an open marriage is very different than just telling me your wife moved out or you kicked your wife out. Tell me a lot of negative stuff about Jasmine, and I'm just wondering if I'm just here to be used as a pawn against her. And
let's process this. You have been talking to a man for months. Didn't tell you the full truth about his marriage situation. You finally find out the truth, and now you're thinking maybe you're just a pawn in the game. Why would you still stick around? Why would you even care to want to stick around? Why would you even care to give him a chance? Because the man has already shown you that he has the ability to do what? To withhold information. That's what he's got the ability to do. Is that a man that she wants to trust moving forward? Remember, Natalie said last week that she's fed up with always dating these bad boys. Okay, so therefore she wanted to go with someone a bit more nerdy because hopefully that person will be a bit more subtle and won't mess her about. I said last week, well, you're going to be in for a rude awakening, because that is not always the case. Ladies, it doesn't matter what type of guy that you date in this world, okay? If he's on some sort of madness where he wants to behave like this is gonna happen. Look at it this way: Colt is not a bad boy, but the guy has never been loyal in any of his marriages. You see what I'm saying? So when people think they are downgrading because they are trying to go for someone who's gonna give them peace, that isn't always the case. I promise you now. But nonetheless, though, this woman Natalie clearly showed me in this one scene that she has no respect for herself, because she's there still entertaining a conversation with him after the lie, the withholding of the information. You know, when people see the red flags at the very beginning, but then they say, "Oh, I'm sure this is just a blip. Oh, I'm sure he was just nervous to tell me." No. That first initial red flag is the only red flag that you need to know that this is probably not going to be a good relationship. Let me bounce now before I get too emotionally attached. Even though she probably already is, because Gina's been talking to her for bloody months. But either way, though, it's not that deep because it's the first time she's met him, so therefore she can run. But of course she didn't do that, did she now?
A lot more complicated than what I was really hoping for Jasmine.
Yep, more than what you was hoping for, but you was hoping for a more drama-free life because you was not going for the bad boys no more.
To know that you moved on. I think you need to decide if this is headed for divorce, and then if you do want to see me again, I just need you to get closure.
Lady, do you know what though? I respect the move that she's put in next. I respect the move where she said you have to let her know that, listen, your relationship is done and you're moving forward. I respect the move because that's her saying, okay, cool, well, the only way I'm going to know you're going to be a genuine dude is if you cut ties with her. But again, the fact that she thinks that this will solve this situation is bonkers. Even if he sat there and said to Jasmine, listen, okay, I'm done with you, I want to be with Natalie, that wouldn't make a difference, because it means that, because either way he has displayed that he has not got the ability to be truthful. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes at the very beginning, can we get away with certain little white lies, or, you know, are we allowed to kind of, you know, let certain things slide and push them under the rug? I mean, yeah, we can, depending on what it is, it can be. But obviously that's up to us to choose what it is, right? You know, but I would say that if something is basically testing your worth to yourself, you run, because this situation here is based on her worth. Is she worth being with a guy who cannot be transparent with her from the very get-go? That is the question that she has to ask herself. Because if she says, listen, I can't be with a guy who can't be honest with me from the get-go, well, then I'm going to leave now and just try something else, then that is the best thing she should do. Because even if she ends up feeling as if, oh, maybe this was the missed opportunity to be with Gina, or she regrets it because maybe she should have given it a chance. No. Even if you feel like after, that doesn't matter. You still made the right choice based on your worth. Making a choice based on your worth is not incorrect, unless, of course, your worth is bonkers. For example, if your worth is based on money, materialistic things, you know, on a unreasonable level, different conversation. But if your worth is based on things that have no money involved, things that are based on how somebody treats you, listen to yourself. Come on now. But nonetheless, though, we're just getting started with Gino, Jasmine, and Natalie, and Matt as well. Looking forward to the season. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section and we'll talk about it.
Makes me a little bit overwhelmed. You know, he's made comments that he feels like he was put to be with me to convert me. And
oh my days, we are again with Tiger, Lily, and Adnan.
I really don't know what to do. Recently, Adnan started to become pretty opinionated and vocal about his Muslim faith.
Alright, listen, first and foremost, in the last season, or the first ever season we saw these two, Tiger Lily made it abundantly clear that she had no issues with converting to Islam. Had no issues with it whatsoever. She was willing to do whatever it took to make this relationship work. Why the hell are we starting a whole intro with her talking about now, you know, yes, I believe that the father and the baby should be the same religion, but it doesn't mean that I have to. What are you talking about? And let's be real, we know she's going to convert anyway. Honestly, this part right here was just not needed, to be honest, because it literally contradicts the last season. for at least from my memory anyway. But the moral of the situation is that when it comes to these two, they always go back and forth over certain things. But in the end, Adnan always gets his way. But let's get into it.
Mickey.
You want to drive?
Yeah. Yeah, baby, it's the people saying my wife, she is pregnant and she's driving. It's so silly. Give me.
I mean, to be fair with you, I do understand his point, you know, obviously, why the hell do I want my pregnant wife to be driving, you know? But obviously, at the same time, I understand her beef. Her situation is that, well, you've just arrived in America, you don't know the American roads, you're unaware of what it's like here, so you driving, I don't think it's a good idea. And also, she thinks that he wants to drive more because of the car, not because he actually wants to drive, more because, you know, he wants to be like, oh, look, I'm in a fancy Lambo, so let me drive. I mean, boy... If I was in his position and I've just landed and my wife's pregnant, I'm driving 1,000%. I won't lie to you. You know, I mean, fair enough. I've never driven in America, but I'll be driving. But to be fair, I've driven in different countries anyway, so I already got experience of driving on the other side of the road. You know what I mean? Which is the same side as America. Because the UK is the only side that drives on the other side of the road, I think. But nonetheless, though, I would be thinking exactly the same thing as him. Let me drive because no. You need to, you know, relax, okay? 1,000%. I could care less how tired I am from the trip. If I'm that tired, we can stop somewhere. I'll have a quick little nap. And trust me, I've done that a few times. Honestly, there's been a few times I've driven to a hike, and on my way back, I'm obviously feeling tired from the hike. I've stopped by a lay-by or by a service station. You know what I mean? And there's times when I've been abroad. You know, got off the plane, started driving to wherever I'm driving to, and then I've stopped by anywhere that I can see that I can pull to the side. Whether it's a little gas station, a little cafe or whatever, parked up, quick little 10-20 minute thing, whatever, and then I've kept going. You see what I'm saying? So to be fair, for me, 100%, I'd be like, no, let me drive, and if I'm too tired, don't worry, I'll have a nap. You know what I'm saying? Let's protect you and the baby. Come on now. But hey, it is what it is.
30
I
hours.
forgot about all of these things.
Aren't you tired?
No, I didn't tire. I'm fine. Don't worry. Don't keep asking.
Don't keep asking. Oh, dear. A lot of people probably think he's being rude here, but I think it could just be the language barrier, to be honest with you. Actually, to be fair, no, he's a rude dude. Not gonna lie to you. Language barrier or no language barrier, he's a very rude dude. I forgot. Yes, I remember I paused this on purpose because I think he's had a hair transplant, because I think he's had the one where they give you a scar on the side. And I just wanted to point out, because a lot of people are talking about him and his hair. Now, obviously, from the post that he did have recently, I think, obviously, he looked like he was still losing hair anyway, because sometimes hair transplant doesn't always work. But it does look like here, if I could just play again.
Oh, don't worry, baby.
Even here, you can see this little scar going in. So I think he may have had a hair transplant, you know. Just thought I'd just point that out, to be honest with you.
Oh, don't worry, baby.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but that scar gives me hair transplant vibes. But anyway, let's continue, folks.
It's not about just...
I have some issues. I don't trust your driving. I'm a good driver because I'm using 2 different roads, streets. It's make me like more experienced. Your
I mean, honestly, the reason why he thinks he's a good driver is freaking hilarious, to be honest with you. But this is Adnan. What can we expect from this guy?
husband just sitting, didn't do anything. That's ridiculous.
Not ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. I don't know if Adnan is ready for America. The man thing is not going to fly over here in the States. And how to like stay out of the doghouse, just like how learn what a stop sign means.
Listen, she's obviously talking about this, that how things are going to be very different here in America. Let's be real. Adnam's always going to get his own way. That's just that, you know. Tiger Lily can act as if she's got a backbone, but for the most part, she's always willing to bend over backwards for this guy. That's just that. And she most certainly does not want to have another failed marriage neither as well. So, yeah, whatever he wants, she's going to give him. She's acting as if she's got this new tough aura about herself. Lady, you haven't. Don't lie to yourself. But anyway, with that being said, though, thank you so much for your time. And let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section, and I'll catch you guys there. Peace.